Good morning, everyone. I thank you all who are able to join me so that we can continue our day text readings. If you're new to the day text shows, what we do is we meet every weekday morning and Saturday morning, unless otherwise scheduled, so that we can progressively work our way through the biblical books and letters, as well as other related texts and histories, so that we can continue to add to our knowledge of the past and the people and activities that took place specifically and most importantly for us as it pertains to the God Jah and to the one we believe he sent forth, Jesus Christ. So we're reading the first letter of John. John is Jesus' beloved disciple. He wrote at least 3 letters, also received the revelation that we'll read after the 3 letters of John, and a history known as a gospel or great message narrative that details the life and teachings of Jesus, along with Matthew, Mark, and Luke. So we're reading 1 John. We're in the 4th chapter, and today we're going to be reading verses 16 through 21. So what I do is I group together text from my translation, and at times you may see comments or terms in brackets, which are usually alternate readings. Sometimes I'll read them. Sometimes I'll just skip right past them. They're mainly for you to consider. So I'm going to go ahead and begin by reading verse 16. And at times I may stop and make a few comments, or I'll just read through the texts and then we'll discuss them afterwards. And finally, once I'm done with the day text show, I'll talk a little bit more about some other shows or videos that I have planned for this week and for this weekend. Okay, 1 John chapter 4, starting in verse 16. Further, we have come to know and we have come to believe the love which God has for us. God is love. And the one who stays with this love stays with God, and God remains with him. Verse 17, by this, love has been fulfilled among us, so that we may have confidence in the day of judgment. For just as that one is, we are too in this world. And remember what Jesus said, by this all will know you are my disciples. If what? If you have love among yourselves. And so John in verse 17 is saying that the love has been fulfilled among us, right? Love among yourselves, and this love has been fulfilled among us. So what he's describing here is the kind of love that Jesus said would mark his disciples. And the purpose is so that we can have confidence, so we're not weak, so we're prepared, like Jesus. And it says that right here, just as that one is, we are too in this world. So we have difficulty. We deal with people who don't like us, but we still have to have confidence. Doesn't matter what other people think necessarily, or specifically when it comes to the best available reasons we have for belief in Jah and following Jesus. We have confidence. That's why I do the shows, to present the pre-Christian evidence and other videos and writings that I hope will help you maintain this confidence. Okay, verse 18. Fear is not with love. Rather, complete love throws fear outside, because fear involves pain. So does sodomy, by the way. I just threw that in there because if we're talking about pain, right? I've talked about this before. How when heterosexuals have sex, there's no pain unless there's some unusual element involved. But the normal bodily organs and use of them in love, in physical lovemaking, doesn't involve pain. But when it's distorted and the normal way of having sex is changed, and other organs are used, it almost always involves pain. Physical pain, emotional, it could be one or more different types of pain. That's not love. I've said that before, right? There's no pain in love. There's no abuse in love. You can make a mistake, but you keep practicing a pattern of activity that causes pain. That's not love. And so he says, complete love throws fear outside because fear involves pain. So does sodomy. We throw that outside too. Unless you're a sodomite, of course you practice it, but still, we highly recommend you cease that activity, but it's up to you. Everyone gets to choose. We choose love. Fear, verse 18, second part. But the one who is afraid has not been made complete in love. And you know, they often will say when we talk about things like sodomy and others that you're homophobic and all this. I don't know why they attach a fear element. I'm not afraid of homosexuality. It's just incorrect and damages people. And so in the sense that it causes the destruction of society and human ends and human relationships, it's something to be concerned about. I certainly think we should be much more concerned with the rise in homosexual behavior and all of these terrible sexual practices that do not involve love. They involve just the opposite of love. That should be of concern to us, right? Any normal person would be a little bit or a lot concerned if people are promoting abusive relationships and sexual practices that not only aren't loving, but painful and damaging and destructive. Verse 19, we are showing love because he showed love to us. So we're really responding to what God has given us, either in the creation, in our physical form, in the world, or through his Son. We're responding to that love. Verse 20, if ever someone should say, I love God, if he also hates his brother, he is a liar. For the one who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, is not able to love God, whom he has not seen. Verse 21, this is the instruction we have from him, namely, the one loving God should also love his brother. It seems so simple, right? Yet we all know how difficult this can be. I'm talking among Christians now, where we have often issues of belief or doctrine that can make it hard to love each other, even though we accept the same Messiah and often same God, sometimes a little different, but it's become much more difficult, I believe, for us to show love to fellow believers and others than it should be. And a big part of that is because of the way that the world cultivates unloving behavior. They talk a lot about love, but they don't show a lot of love or even a little love, right? I mean, it's pretty much all about abuse, child abuse, anal abuse, relationship abuse in terms of role reversing, and abuse in a religious sense, in that people who should be helping others are often making it more difficult. Like the Pharisees and scribes of Jesus' day. Instead of lightening the loads of people, they further burdened them and then wouldn't even help them. Like Jesus said, by lifting a finger. So that's not loving. That's the opposite. That's burdening people who are trying to serve God and coming to you for help. We're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to make it more difficult on a person to serve Jah or Jesus, or even to treat each other the way we want to be treated. Why should we make that more difficult on others? Why do we make it more difficult on ourselves? We have to stop that, turn it around, and start promoting love. Love for the truth. Love for the right kind of relationships. Love for Jah, the one who made all the things and all people who get to experience relationships in the first place, or at all, ever. We're responding to God's love. He showed it to us first in a number of ways. So we should always be grateful. We should always have a sense of appreciation for what we're allowed to do. We have another day right now that we can live and go forth and talk to other people. Show them things. Look at what they have to say and show us. Learn. And promote beliefs based on the best available reasons. That's going to contribute to society. That's going to make your life better and everyone else's life better. And even if people don't accept what you have to say, they're still going to know you have something to say. And so that's important as well, that you bear witness. That's what a witness does. We don't unreasonably interrupt groups just to say what we want to say. We pick the right time, or we're called upon to speak the truth, and that's what we say. And when we do that, we're showing love, because we're giving God his due and helping other people to see that he is true. But we can't do that if we can't love our brothers. Right? This is where it all kind of comes back to the whole division among Christians type thing. And even though we know that has to be the case, divisions must come, like Paul said, in order to show to make a differentiation between different types of people. To the extent that we don't have to go through that process, and we can show love, like Jesus said would mark his disciples, and like John said here, is fulfilled among us, so we have confidence, verse 17, in the day of judgment. We're not going to have the right kind of confidence if we're at odds with our brothers or sisters and we can't get along and show love. That is going to make it very difficult for us to stand during the time of judgment, knowing, if that's the case, we didn't show love or couldn't show love to the people we could see. And now we're supposed to be believed that we love the one we can't see? Doesn't make sense. So if we really do love God, then we should show love towards his images. All of them. Except, of course, those who are directly opposing us in ways where we can't really show the kind of love we would otherwise show, because they would just turn around and take advantage of us. Like Jesus said, right? Don't throw your pearls before pigs. They'll just trample on them. They don't care. Pigs don't care about your pearls. They just want the slop. So make sure that you're using your jewels and your valuable things wisely and with the right people, so that they appreciate them the same way that you do. Okay, so that's a good text for us today to consider. And we'll continue going through the letter 1 John. Yesterday I was a little busy, and coming off the heels of the Sunday show, I needed a little more time to kind of get some things done. But I should be here the rest of the week. We will keep working our way through 1 John until we finish, and then go next to 2 John and 3 John. They're much briefer. But I have translated them, so we'll do them next. And then we'll get into Revelation, which, though I haven't completed, I've done several portions of several chapters. So there should be some good material. And then we'll reset, and we'll start with Genesis and work our way right back through the Bible. And remember, when we started these day text shows, we started in the New Testament letters section. So we didn't do any of the great message or gospel narratives, but we will get to those the next time through. Okay, so I have at least one video. I'm not going to say what it is, because I've done it. I've said it before, and I got busy and couldn't do it. So I'm just going to state that I'm working on a video I'm going to put up today. It's one I've been trying to get up for a while. So, but I need to get it up now because there's a deadline, so to speak. You'll understand more when I get it up. So I'll be working on that as well as some other things. I'll be back tomorrow for another day text in the morning, so I hope you all join me there. And otherwise, have a great day. Do your best to help as many people as you can, but without being taken advantage of. We want to help people. We just don't want them to destroy us while we're helping them, if we can help it. So I pray that will be the case for you, And may Jah bless you in every single thing you do. In Jesus' name.